Have you ever woke up telling yourself you're gonna make a song? You crack open your laptop, go to YouTube, search for a beat, download it, drag it in FL Studio, record a whole song, bounce it out so you can show it to your friends, and they hit you with one of these? Damn, that's crazy. Today I'm gonna show you how to make your vocals not sound crappy. Let's get it. Before we can even get to mix on our vocals, we need to make sure that we're getting a good vocal recording. Because if we have a trash sounding vocal, then mixing it would just make it sound like polished trash. Here are some tips that you can use to get a good vocal recording. Firstly, I recommend you get an XLR microphone and an audio interface. If you want to hear more about this, check out my video from last week. I'll put the video in the description. Secondly, I think you should get a pop filter. Basically what a pop filter is a filter or a barrier that goes in front of you and the microphone or between you. And it basically just catches those harsh frequencies when you're recording, like a P or a B. And third, just give yourself a good amount of space between you and the microphone. You have to be too close and you don't want to be too far back, unless that's what you're going for in your song. But a good distance when just recording your main vocals is to just put your hand out in front of you and the pop filter and the microphone, put your thumb out and your pinky out, and be around this range. And once you generally get this range, you'll always be like set to record here. But after you get that, we can start mixing. All right, so this is our vocal chain. This is all the plugins that'll take our vocal from sounding like this.
Damn, I guess it's how it goes. You live long enough to see your friends turn your foes.
To this.
Damn, I guess it's how it goes. You live long enough to see your friends turn your foes.
Night and day, sounds amazing, and this will be the best thing ever. So let's go through all the plugins and get your vocals from sounding crappy to nice, release ready for Spotify and Apple Music. First thing on our vocal chain is a limiter. Basically, we're using Fruity Limiter as a noise gate just to get all those background noises, room noises, air conditioning, fan, someone downstairs throwing a ball at the TV, all that noises taken out in the vocal, because this threshold will keep everything that's under that down where you can't hear it. Next, autotune. Autotune is pretty self-explanatory. It's autotune. You have your retune speed, which is how much autotune you want on your vocal.
Damn, I guess it's how it goes. You live long enough.
I don't know if you want to sound like T-Pain or not. So yeah, you can play with the retune speed. You can also play with this flex tune, but really you can just play with this. And you also have natural vibrato and humanize. And this is where you set like your key settings. Next, we have a de-esser. I'm using de-esser by Waves because this is the one I'm like accustomed to using. Basically what a de-esser does is take out the S's or keep down those harsh S frequencies down. You set this threshold to a volume that will basically, once that S frequency hits that threshold, this bar, I'm pointing at the screen like you can see it, this bar will keep it down. So if I play it, you'll see a red bar pushing down while the threshold pushes up.
Damn, I guess it's how it goes.
So this is pushing it down. So once the frequency hits this threshold, this pushes it down so it's not like too harsh on the ears. Next, we have our first EQ. Basically what EQ is you playing with different frequencies on the spectrum. That can be your low end, high end, middle frequencies. The first thing you want to do on any EQ for your vocals is take out that low end. Just come up here to this purple thingy. It's like it looks like a weird Pac-Man mouth. I don't know. But you basically want to drag it to when it looks like a hill, a slope, really, like you're gonna roll down the hill. And then you want to take this little dot right here and drag it all the way down to it's like 4 dots, and you would just want to take out the low end, and you'll do that by just dragging it in. But you don't want to do it too much because
Damn, I guess it's how it goes.
you're gonna sound like you're talking like through a radio or a phone. You just want to come in and
Damn, I guess it's how it goes.
taking about that much. It says we're at the 92 frequency range, so about right here in between bass and sub bass. Next thing I like to do is just, you don't have to do this, but I like to boost the high ends and give it like a crisp high end sound that makes the vocal sound warm. The next plugin we have on our vocal chain is a Fruity compressor. Basically what a compressor does is take the highest peak of a vocal and the lowest peak and just brings it in or bring it down to where it's at an equal level, and then we'll adjust this gain knob here to bring the volume of the compressed vocal up. Basically if you're yelling at one part of the song and whispering at a different part, it'll bring the whisper and the yell to the same point, and then you can turn them both up so they're still at the same level throughout the whole song. And you do that by setting the threshold for the compression. The ratio is how much compression, and the gain is how much you're bringing the compressed vocal up. You also have your attack and release, which I'm not gonna touch because actually fuck it, whatever. The attack is how fast the compressor works, and release is how fast the compressor lets go of the vocal to move on to the next part of the vocal. And then honestly, I don't even know like what this is. I just keep it on hard, or maybe I'll just move it to soft. The next plugin we have is Fruity Band Compressor. And honestly, this plugin hurts my eyes. I just needed another compressor. If you can understand this, you can kudos to you, but I just threw it on default and it sounded nice, so I kept it. The next plugin on our vocal chain is EQ. So we're basically doing another EQ, taking out the low end, boosting our highs, and taking down a couple middle frequencies. Now, if you want to take down some middle frequencies, this is what you can do, but don't go overboard. Basically, you want to grab one of these notches, pull it all the way up. If you're using a mouse, use your scroll wheel and just scroll down. And then basically you want to do a technique called vocal or frequency sweeping. You want to play the vocal.
Damn, I guess that's how it goes. You live long enough to see your friends turn your foes. I seen it all before. I dodged a bullet, I ducked and rolled.
And you basically want to sweep the spectrum for harsh frequencies. So anything that might hurt your ear, like say if this
damn, I guess
like that whistle noise, say if I didn't like that, I can just come over here, still have it selected, and just turn it down so it's not like overbearing in the vocal. Next we have Soundganizer. This is I want to say this is like a compressor, but honestly this is just crack, if I'm being honest, because you can just play around with this. Now I would not have this all the way like this. Don't do that. I have mine up here and I just play around and see what I like. See if I had it all the way up.
Damn, I guess that's how it goes. You live long enough to see your friends turn your foes.
Whatever sounds good to your ear. Trust your ear, unless your ear is just super trash. The next thing we have is our effects. The first plugin we have for our effects is Fruity Reverb, which is just a default reverb on the bus. We have our reverb. Next we have our delay. We have delay 3, and we just set it to the ping pong effect. It'll come in on stereo, but I just put it on ping pong. And then on top of that, I have Fruity Panomatic. So it's also doing another like panning of our delay. So when you hear our delay, it's like it makes the delay like go back and forth from your left ear to your right ear, back to your right ear to your left. If you don't have headphones on, you probably won't be able to tell. And next we have a doubler. Basically what this vocal doubler is doubling our vocal and giving it a wider and more, just a wider feel, so it takes up more of the space in the beat. And then once you got everything on, it's
damn, I guess that's how it goes. You live long enough to see your friends turn your foes. I seen it all before. I dodged a bullet, I ducked and rolled. You stabbed me in my back, but that's some pain I felt before. Nah, none of this new to me. Sent the Texas going green, I guess your ass going goes me. And then
if you made it to the end of this video, I want to say thank you. I hope this helps and you can take your vocals from sounding crappy to possibly ended up on somebody's Spotify playlist or on the radio or whatever that may be. This could be difficult for beginners, so I hope this tutorial just makes it just a little simpler and gets you in the right direction for you to start making music from home and not having to pay anybody to mix your vocals, because you can just learn how to do that on your own and get better over time. But hope you enjoyed this video. Like, comment, and subscribe, and see you next week.
Like be fucking for real. No, you trolls can hurt my feelings. Be fucking for real. I stack my money to the ceiling. You hurting for real. Oh damn, I really hurt their feelings. Be fucking